Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is Fancy Josh, and today I'm bringing you a game between Nostalgia and Period. I think that's probably the barcode equivalent of players in StarCraft 2. When they want to remain anonymous, they set their name to a barcode, and it kind of feels like that's what our Warmer Check players do in this game. But I'm not one to judge. Looking forward to this game. Nostalgia is in the top 60. I want to say he's... I know he's top 100. I'm not sure exactly what position he is as the British. But I've seen Nostalgia before. I may have a channel... I know I've cast one of his games. I don't know if that game made it onto YouTube. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. So, the map is... the Jebel Pass? The Jebel Pass? I never know how to pronounce things. I should probably look it up. Anyway, I love this map. I've cast a number of games on this map. It's got this nice little cross shape here in the middle that connects all four quadrants together. You see lots of plays, players diving on these cutoff points to deny resources to their opponent, and I expect this game to be no different. The British player has gone for the Australian Defence Battle Group, giving him access to this Australian Light Infantry section. Probably going to hear me call him the Kangaroo Squad, because how can you not when you've got a squad indicator like that? Breaking out up top here. Looks like the German player is going to win. This Australian Light Infantry is going to become unsuppressed, so probably going to be a relatively even trade. Royal Engineers taking one for the team there, getting suppressed. For those of you that don't know, when you're suppressed, you actually take less damage. So, he's comfortable leaving them there for a short period of time while they take less damage. Unfortunately for him, his Australian Light Infantry got wrecked by those Pioneers, and now his Royal Engineers got to go. I think they're going to make it. It's going to be close. Gonna be really close. Yep. I think they're gonna make it. Oh, never mind. I have bad news, Royal Engineers. Oh, are these guys not gonna shoot them or what? Yeah, there they go. Well, that's an unfortunate loss for a British player early on. It's not the end of the world, of course. Just doesn't feel good. It's gonna reduce his ability to capture territory at this early stage of the game. So our German player has gone for... I would say it's, relatively unique. A lot of times folks will mix in at least some Grenadiers, but our German player has gone for all heavy machine guns and all Pioneers. It makes a whole lot of sense when you start looking at his battle group, which is the Terror battle group, giving him access to these machine gun camouflage, which is a really, really, really good skill. For free, he can just camouflage heavy machine guns. And that can be super obnoxious to deal with, so even if you're scouting out an area, you don't know if there's a heavy machine gun around the next corner or not. British players added on another Australia Light Infantry and a heavy machine gun. And the map is relatively even right now. Our German player is a bit ahead, but only on ammunition, so... British player's not hurting too bad yet. Victory points definitely going in favor of our German player right now. But our British player still has more than 400, so he's not hurting at all. I love this by our German player. Our British player had built some sandbags here to help him defend this point, and our German player just barbed wired him off, preventing the British player from using the sandbags he put down. It's an interesting little mini game that you'll see, especially when both players are very high level and bending the map to their will. Putting down sandbags, putting down mines, that type of thing. Pretty quiet right now. British player adding on a infantry section, and it looks like our German player did add on a grenadier squad.
Territory is exposed. We must re-establish a connection.
Yeah. Both players. Oh yeah, so we see our British player going for a cutoff point here. I think that's really smart. So, you know, our German player, you know, these heavy machine guns are going to be really, really good at holding down territory, right? They can be... The area that they are in is going to be really tough for our British player to get into. That said, they can't be everywhere, right? And that's going to make it difficult for... to stop little intrusions on your cutoff points like we just saw there. That was actually a lucky mine hit for our British player. He only had one model touch it. A lot of times you'll see 2 or even 3 go down. Well, I know... It's funny, I'm remembering some patch notes from Company of Heroes 2, I want to say, where they added... It used to be that mines would wipe your entire squad. If your squad was grouped up enough and they all stepped on a mine together, everybody in the squad would die. And they got rid of that because they were like, wow, that's overpowered. You shouldn't be punished for the pathing of individual units in a squad. So I don't know if you can lose more than 2 models in Company of Heroes 3. What I do know is he only lost 1, and it's because his squad was really spread out when they stepped on that mine. Also during that fight, we saw our British player use the recce package that he got to fire a flare and reveal cloaked heavy machine guns. So that was a really nice usage of his abilities there, and clearly benefited him. This is a rather large surface. This fight is a rather large surface area. It does look like our British player is going to win here. Maybe not. Not with the scout car, but then, of course, the armored car shows up at exactly the same time. So, wow, what a fight down here. Scout car is in deep trouble, and it looks like that armored car is going to be able to pick him up. That was really nice, getting in behind this heavy machine gun. Probably going to pick up that heavy machine gun as well. Nicely done. And wow, what a big win that was for our British player. British player adding on a field infirmary at home to heal up his squads when they retreat so that everybody goes out full health. Nice try by our German player trying to take away that ammunition point. You know, he's got the squad, why not? But of course, British player not going to let that happen. Australian forces decapturing this munitions point. I don't think they can hang out there for very long, considering how many forces we're seeing coming in from our German player. German player did add on... Whoa! Hit a mine? Is that a mine there? Yeah, I think it was. In any case, our German player added on this Jaeger squad, which of course can be upgraded to carry Panzerschrecks, and that's exactly what he did, and he managed to sneak a shot in on that armored car, and then I believe the armored car ran into a mine, so that was really, it was a bit unlucky for our British player, but at the same time it was really well executed by our German. Now, oh, this is really smart. So I'll talk about that in just a second. I was going to say that our German player lost 2 heavy machine guns in that exchange. And it looks like our British player has captured 1 or both of them. Yeah, he got both of them. So that's really nice for him. And I don't know if you saw this, but this squad, you know, they took away that heavy machine gun. But of course, this guy's got about 1 health point. And so he snuck around here. And now he's going to get away with that unit. That was really clever. That was really, really clever. Great job on Nostalgia for preserving his units there. Here's another mine. I think they're about to step on it. Yep, and see, he lost 2 models there because there were 2 of them close to the mine when it went off. And yeah, just really great use of mines by our German player. He's making this British player's life very, very difficult. British player finally getting his hands on some victory points here. German player adding on another Jaeger squad. Of course, they have that smoke ability. Another armored car from our British player. So, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because... well, we'll see how it works out for him. What I was about to say is... investing in one light vehicle, that is a fuel investment, right? And by investing the fuel in something lighter, you can't use it on something heavier, right? Or you can't use it to tech up. But when you go... so that's okay for one, right? But ultimately, at some point in this game, both players are going to have medium tanks or even heavy tanks. And technically, our German could be the first one there because of our British player's choice to add on a second armored car, spending more fuel. All that said, you know, there's a lot of things that could... there's a lot of ways this game could go. So it's not like it's the end of the world. And we're only talking about 35 fuel. So... German player did add on a Flak Panzer, which is going to be pretty devastating for our British player to deal with here. And this Flak Panzer is absolutely going to shred that infantry. Infantry being forced to go back to base. In fact, our British player is almost entirely in retreat here. Unwilling to give up this structure here just yet, and looks like he's going to do it now. Trying to be obnoxious, right? Despite the fact that the German has the Flak Panzer, our British player's sticking around, trying to be annoying, trying to push all, keep the German player back as long as possible. British player does have an AT gun. I don't think our German player knows about it. Yeah, I don't think he saw it. He's going to see it now when this heavy machine, when this AT gun shoots at that Flak Panzer. Maybe not. Backing up, both sides kind of backing off. Approaching carefully. Okay, here comes the Flak Panzer again. Where's our AT gun? It's set up, but it's not in range. Move up just a little bit there. I think he wants to sit. I mean, that's the way you want to use your AT guns, right? And by the way, that's how you want to use your vehicles too. You want to sit right at your maximum range, so that, you know, if your opponent wants to charge you or use some shorter range abilities, they gotta walk into you, and you know, making them less likely to do so while you're still being effective with your weapons. Heavy machine guns trading suppression here. Suspect that I was about to say I suspect our German's going to win, but our... yeah, I thought this squad was going to win. That squad ended up winning, but then retreating, so I'm not sure what the thinking was there. Black win there. Here gets setting up the AT gun. It's going to get its first hit. It's going to push the Flak win back. Biding his time to try and push away this Australian light infantry. It's going to work, too. I mean, he almost killed him. German player adding on Defend the Fatherland from his battle group. That's like when he activates, it's a huge, huge buff to his units, but only in his territory. I mean, it basically makes him invincible for... what was that, 45 seconds? Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Look at that. 75% damage reduction. That's just bonkers. 50% increased fire rate and accuracy. Like, this turns them into gods for a short period of time. Long-range skirmish between these Jaegers and these British forces here. Our British player did add on another AT gun, and just in time because our German is adding on a second Flak Panzer. British player actually has slightly more map control right now, but I think that's going to change in the next 20 seconds or so. Well, maybe not. British player is literally capturing top and bottom, and the German is committing to the top, so it's looking pretty good for our British player right now. I will say our British player is down pretty bad on victory points. He's down to 200. You know, he's not in scary territory yet, but he definitely needs to be thinking about the victory points in his decision-making rather than just ignoring them. Black Panzer getting in behind this AT gun. I'd like to see the armored car come over and help out this AT gun, which is actually just exactly what happened. He fired some smoke grenades to cover the escape of that AT gun. Nice support from the other AT gun. Gonna get a second hit here. Nice. Might chase with the armored car. I want him to chase with the... Oh! What did he lose it to? Is that through the bush? Oh man, I can't believe I just missed that. Well done by our British player. I'm assuming I think that he attacked ground with his AT gun and managed to hit that Flak Panzer. Thought the Flak Panzer was definitely out of there, but it turns out he wasn't. Armored car continuing to do work for our British player. You know, I was questioning his decision to add this on earlier, but I think ultimately it's been a force for good on his team, and I'm glad he did it. German player adding on his third Flak Panzer this game. He really wants to shred some infantry. I don't mind that decision. He hasn't seen any medium tanks. He knows that he should know or have a sixth sense that he's a little bit ahead on resources income over the course of this game. He might not know that, but or even care. He might just like Flak Panzers, but that's personally what I think is going through his head. German player continuing to be a nuisance about the command points. He recognizes that he's ahead and he's trying to end this game sooner rather than later, which, based on his composition, I think that's a good idea, right? He's put a significant amount of fuel in. Actually, how much do those cost? He's put a significant amount of fuel into his early game. Yeah, those are not cheap Flak Panzers. He spent 210 fuel on Flak Panzers this game. That is a lot of fuel to be spent on an anti-infantry unit. I am not saying he did the wrong thing. I'm just thinking that you know, he slowed himself down from reaching anything higher, right? It's like the armored car was called off the map through the British player's ability to do that, so he gets those resources back. I suspect he's looking to upgrade to a medium tank pretty soon. If I had to guess, I would say he's going to add on a Crusader 2, and if I was using my eyes, I would see that he is in fact adding on a Crusader 2. So, Crusader 2, it's so funny. I can't quite put my finger on what this tank is, right? It's a light medium tank. To me, that's what it feels like to me. It's extremely agile. It's got really fast turret rotation. It's got decent damage against infantry and light vehicles. And then it starts to struggle against medium tanks. But its advantage, right, is that it's fast. And it can get behind those medium tanks. And if it's hitting this rear or side armor on this Flak Panzer, it's going to do just fine. But I expect we'll see. I mean, if it lands a hit here, I suspect the shell will bounce. Oh, no, looks like he's just taking out the infantry. Setting up his AT gun back here. He's going to get a shot in. Is he out of range? Oh, he is out of range. And that's what I'm talking about, right? That Flak Panzer sitting at maximum range, as far away from his opponent as he can. And he is defending this command point, this victory point here, because, you know, that AT gun wasn't in range. So we did see that Crusader tank get an armor penetration shot on that Flak Panzer. I like this moving backwards, outrunning that infantry. That's exactly how he wants to be using this tank. And look how nimble that thing is. Look how agile it is. It just does whatever it wants. He's adding on a second Crusader tank, so this is where the strength of the Crusader tank comes in my opinion. when you have more than one, right? This tank does really well when it's flanking, and when you have more than one, it makes it much easier to flank. And now our German player added on him Martyr 3 medium tank. And that tank is, obviously it's doesn't have a turret, so it's just going to shoot straight ahead. But it is going to be it's going to be plenty effective against these Crusader tanks. And it looks like he's adding on another one. I think that's a good decision. Right, he wants to be able to control multiple areas on the map against these tanks. So I was judging our... Whoa, that's 2 landmines right next to each other. Oh, and he's adding another one? Wow, that's crazy. That's so interesting to see him do that. I think he's thinking that, you know, British players... I think our German player thinks that the British player feels like they're ahead and that they're going to charge across this river. And look how many mines there are. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Alright, I'm going to stop gawking at the mines here. Big fight here in the middle. AT guns set up in the right spot to deal with that flak panzer, but it's just barely going to get away. Crusader tank coming in to have a say about it. Hitting some flak, hitting some Jaeger infantry on their way out. Martyr 3 has to back up. Getting hit by an anti-tank grenade. That's going to slow it down and probably lose it to these Crusader tanks. Now this flak panzer needs to get out of here too. These Crusaders are in behind the flak panzer. That's going to be real bad for our German player. Yeah. So nice pickup by our British player, recognizing his advantage, swarming his opponent. Well done. It's going to put him way ahead for a minute here. Flak panzer pushing away this heavy machine gun. So I was thinking that there might be a complicated strategy to all those mines, but thinking about it a little longer, there is a special event going on right now, and one of the quests is to plant 50 mines. And I'm over here thinking that our German player is doing his weekly quest in this game. So that's hilarious. I think that's hilarious if that's what he's actually doing. But I also don't think it's bad. I mean, our British player is very likely to become emboldened by his kills of 2 tanks here, and I think we could see him make a charge, especially in an area like this, maybe through this area, so it's fun to see if that actually happens. So I think our German player is on the back foot here. It isn't dramatic yet, but I think he may want to consider focusing his efforts on one side of the map. You know, my opinion is, and there goes another Ostwind. Yeah, just got totally wrecked by these AT guns. So what I was about to say is, when you're behind like this, it is my opinion that you should group up and hit your opponent with all your might in one area, right? Because our British player, in a normal game, when you're both even, you're trading blows, right? You're making pushes potentially across the entire map at the same time. And that's what our British player is doing, right? He has squads all over the map. And our German player is trying to match that, but he doesn't have as many squads. So anywhere he goes, he's going to run into more units than he has. And so it stands to reason that he should bring all of his might to bear in a single area in an effort to dislodge his opponent, right? That's my 2 cents. I was a little long-winded. It's okay. British player up to 3 Crusader tanks, which is going to be really, really hard for our German player to deal with, considering he only has 3 anti-tank options, one of which gets hard countered. That is to say, the Martyr 3 gets absolutely wrecked by this many Crusader tanks. That was a really nice shot. If you can pick up the Crusader tank, he's going to be happy. Can he get him? He's going to get him with the flak panzer, maybe? Oh, it's a shame this thing isn't shooting. Yeah. Oh, get him. Nice. Oh, there's a mine. Is he going to hit the second one? Please hit the second one. No. So, it might sound like I'm rooting for our German player right now. And that's because I am. Because I like rooting for the underdog. And, you know, our German player is very clearly the underdog here. And that Crusader tank hitting that mine would have kept this game more even. Which is what I want. All that said, I think our German's path out of his current situation is potentially to go for a King Tiger here. So he does have the King Tiger unlocked. He needs 180 fuel, which is going to be about 7 minutes at his current income. He's got plenty of manpower to go around. I'm not worried about that. I think this is a really good decision to group up. I think he probably, if I were him, I would be bringing all my squads down here all at once. What I'm trying to say here is our German player needs to find a way to hold on until he can get a King Tiger. I think that's his only path out of this. So he needs fuel and he needs victory points, and both of them are right here. That said, he is down bad in victory points right now. He's currently losing 3 every tick, and doesn't seem to be reacting fast enough to that predicament. British player just retired one of his Crusader tanks. I'm curious to see what he wants to do with that fuel. Looks like he's adding on a 17-pounder. I have never seen a 17-pounder used. That might sound totally insane, but when I play British, I don't care about the 17-pounder. Wow, what a game! I thought that was a great game. It was really fun to watch. It was fun to see the power shift over the course of the game. It felt like the British player was behind for most of the game, and then once he added on his first Crusader, and then shortly thereafter his second Crusader, it put him in a really good position to succeed. And he took full advantage of it, clearing out some Ostwinds, clearing out some Martyr 3s, and just generally being a nuisance with those tanks. So it was a slow death for our German after being so far ahead. But yeah, he couldn't quite hold on for that King Tiger. So hope you guys enjoyed this game as much as I did, and I will see you in the next one.